Hi.
Ah,
At least we can stop pretending now.
at least we have one
Yeah.
table machine that's going
And
well.
once again, we have to wait till the end of the episode to talk about it because it was the last game of the week. I hate the NRL schedule makers, and we have to do it again next week.
And the week after that thing. No.
What's the week after? It's the
Brisbane.
Waikato.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Waikato.
the game.
Oh, that would be on a
Brisbane
Saturday
will
too.
be Saturday night, I'm
That's a
pretty sure.
Saturday night.
Yes. Okay.
It's gonna be Brisbane.
Back on track. This week in football was interesting.
Very weird.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. Yeah. Well, there was one game that was a little bit unexpected, but we can get to
Some
that.
stuff that happened in that one.
Yeah.
But we'll get on with it. Starting with the NRLW, fairly standard round, I think.
Yeah.
The Sharks pretty easily dispatched the Dragons. They didn't have Tiana Penatani-Gray, which makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, because she's one of the best players. In the
But the Dragons still don't have Tegan Berry, so any loss they have right now is moot.
It's still a loss, unfortunately.
is the best player in the
Uh,
The big one for the Sharks, Emma Veron, was excellent. She
Yeah.
had a try, 170 metres, 7 tackle breaks, 3 try assists.
that's pretty impressive. Those are massive numbers.
And returning from a foot injury as well, that makes that even better.
Yeah, that's really, really very good.
The scoreline, I think, was like 20-4 or something. They scored 5 tries to 1.
We didn't kick him.
They didn't kick any goals. It's bad. The Knights played the Tigers, and the Knights won comfortably, to nobody's surprise.
Yes.
Quentin Gallagher and Eva McEwen were both standouts, both scoring 2 tries, combining for 350 metres. They were both excellent.
Yeah.
For the Tigers, I think Sarah Togatuki is really starting to announce herself as one of the premier forwards.
She's a very good player.
She's really good. 12 for 151, 23 tackles, no misses. Pretty strong performance from her.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah, very good.
Good.
The Warriors
This will probably be upset of the round.
massive upset over the ball.
Now, look, I'm not even thinking that it was a. The upset isn't the fact that the Warriors won, because last week when they played the Cowboys, they actually played really, really well.
The fact that they won by 26.
It's the fact that they absolutely flogged Canterbury.
Huge.
Yeah.
Look, the caveat for the Bulldogs is that they're still without Alexis Tawanei, who is a phenomenal player and very, very important to that forward pack. That being said, 26-ish points.
Yeah.
The Warriors look really good now.
Their bench forwards are the best bench forwards in the country.
So good.
By a long way.
You know what they need to not do is fall into the trap of start your best players.
Yeah,
They work so well off the
they
bench.
do. Yeah, yeah. They can run and provide some major impetus.
Yeah, no, excellent.
Yeah.
I thought the halves combo of Maliepo and Curtin had their best game together by far. Curtin especially with 2 tries and forcing 4 dropouts, which is excellent from her. Great game managing there.
Yeah.
The Roosters, like I said before, they're missing Tawanei badly. Oh yeah, the Dogs, sorry. Yeah, they are missing Tawanei badly. They need her back ASAP.
Yeah.
The Roosters beat the Titans, no surprises there.
Nobody's surprised.
Livia Koenig and Isabel Kelly were their best.
They are the favourite for the competition for a
They
reason.
still haven't lost a game.
They're 6 and 6.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy, right?
Shout out Georgia Hale. I'm going to shout her out every week because I love watching her play. Playing hooker now because the Titans really don't have one. So she's just there, 70 minutes, 61 tackles with only 1 miss.
Holy crap.
She's a tackling machine. She is the NRLW version of Cam McInnes.
Yeah.
That is what she is. And Cam McInnes is one of my favourite players. So, we'll credit her. Unfortunately, the rest of her team isn't that very great. But Jessica Ellison, I thought, played pretty well. 51 minutes, rugged out 160 metres, 26 tackles, no misses. Pretty strong performance from her. I'm more impressed that the Raiders actually put up a fight in this game.
Yeah.
That's at least progress for them this year.
Yeah, because it's been pretty average, haven't they?
They still ended up losing by 16 points, but it was like
Yeah.
they at least showed something. Easy standout for the Broncos. Julia Robinson. Man, what a day.
302 metres.
21 runs for 302 metres.
That is just mad.
Was like 80.
That's in 70 minutes. How long?
70 minutes. Yeah. The whole game. Oh, she is so good. And
That's better than Toto.
yeah, she was huge in this game. Also, Shalom Sewasu quickly becoming one of my favourite players to watch. 11 runs, 123 metres, 12 tackle breaks. Very, very good. She's very strong. I'm happy that Temna actually is starting to have some help. Canberra.
Mama always tries.
Mount always tries. Leon Tafuga is starting to really show out as well. So there's some good players here. It's just taking a while for them to click. They're going to get a win at some point in the next couple of weeks, I reckon, and it'll be good for them. Now we move on to the Cowboys game from the NRLW, where they beat the Eels. Like, ooh, that first half was not good.
Yeah.
It
2-0 in the first half.
was pretty boring first half.
Yeah, it was
Pretty boring first half.
They scored in like 5 minutes or
Yeah,
something.
something like that. They had half an hour left in the game. They were down 10-0. I'm looking at it thinking, oh no, they're doing exactly what they did against
I
Newcastle.
didn't watch it. I was really the
I was watching the score as it was going on.
Yeah.
You were watching the game. You'll be able to speak a lot more about this. But, you know, the attack finally kicked into gear. They scored 3 tries in 10 minutes, and that ends up being enough to win the game,
Yeah.
which is good. I would prefer them play more than 10 minutes of good football because we already have one Cowboys team in a place like that. So we need more. We need more football, please. They completed 80%. They missed 15 less tackles, ran much better. They had nearly 6 more meters per set than Parramatta did. It ended up being a good defensive performance from them. And that's about all I have to say. Do you have anything to say?
Quickly becoming probably one of the best Cowboys players.
Who's this?
Frank Goldthorpe.
Probably. Well, she was already there.
She's already up.
She's actually playing in what I think is her best position now. Because when they were tracking her fullback,
Yeah.
I didn't think she really had it. Now that they have Whitfield inside, Fran Goldthorpe's really been freed up to just run.
Fast.
Fast, yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
Frank Chester was pretty good.
Yeah, Brechester's excellent. It's good that you bring up Breechester because I talked about this last week, but I was like, I love the Lily Peacock starting because it forces her to get more involved and takes a little bit of pressure off Wheel and Peacock. It didn't really. She only still took like 6 runs. Double Dash only took 4 runs. They need to spread the load in this forward pack. Otherwise, if
Wheel will get burnt out. She's the premier one at the moment.
Wheel go down, I'm very, very concerned for this forward pack. They need to start spreading the load a bit.
Yarrow's a good player.
Yarrow was good. I'm glad she came off the bench. She looked really good. But it's like S.A. Barney, some of her stature should be running like I think her stat line was 8 for 58 meters. You think some of her stature would get a little bit more post
Yes.
than what she does.
Yeah.
So I do think I'm looking forward to having China Palata back. I think she's going to be an excellent addition, especially to give Talisha Harden a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Thing should be in the team. Restaurant Smith.
Maybe.
Like, if one of the forwards goes down, she's probably going to be in there.
She's going to be there anyway, but like I said, they just need to give a little bit more of the ball around to the other forwards, or the other forwards need to step up to try and get more involved, because otherwise something is going to go wrong with one of the 2 main forwards in this team. It's very like Pat Carrigan and Payne Haskell.
Yeah, and you can't just rely on, you need more people than just the 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That being said, those 2 were excellent.
They were.
They were excellent in this
I
game.
think Wheel has really turned the corner, because last year she showed a little promise, but then never really reached it.
Yeah, she's hit that second level now.
Yeah.
It's really, really good to see.
Yeah.
The combo of Dib and Tillett hopefully will get better. It was a bit clunky this game.
That's their first time, right? Yeah.
I think I prefer the first half combo that they had when it was Dib and Kelly, because I feel like now with Dib and Tillett, they don't really have a running game in the halves. It's
Really, because you see, Dib's a big player. She's not small, so she should actually have a running
I
game.
think so, but maybe she can develop that.
Yeah, now that she's 5'8" and 1 halfback, she might have to develop that.
I hope so.
Yeah,
A win's a win.
it is. And you take it, they're 4-2. This is their best season by far. They're 4th on the ladder, so
I'm going to the top 6.
in
Yay!
that particular area.
Parramatta, Elsie Albert.
Oh, well, she's just incredible, right?
That shot she put on, holy crap.
S.A. Barney one a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
But she ran 160 metres, 25 tackles. She was
Yeah.
good. Brianna Eels was also really good in this game.
Didn't miss any tackles.
No missed tackles, made 30, which is good, 150 metres. They've got a good squad.
They do. And look, they'll improve. It's like anything, right? You got to work your way into it sometimes, and you know, the can't expect miracles straight away.
Like, I know obviously Elsie Albert is the main meter eater in this team because she is one of the best props, but I feel like they need a little bit more of the outside backs because only 2 of them got over double-digit carries in this game, which is not enough. Like, all the Cowboys had at least double-digit carries.
Yeah.
So we need a little bit more out of them, I think.
Yep.
Outside that, they didn't play badly by any means.
No. It's just the Cowboys just felt like they wanted a bit more, maybe.
Yeah, let's hope so. I think they've learned that after Newcastle demolished them.
Yeah, and Newcastle was a bit of a, that was maybe the turning point. Where, whoa, okay.
Well, yeah, because the first week they like cruised by the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be easy. Bonk.
Yes, and that's sometimes very good.
Yes.
And the loss of the Warriors in Magic Round as well.
We can blame that on the conditions.
The Warriors are obviously team
Great
doing great.
Wet, yes. Both the New Zealand teams are always very good wet football players, so that's always good for them. But
Right, that helps.
Cowboys keep on rolling. I like it.
Well done, Cowboys keep going.
Nothing bad. We started with a pretty sad game, in my opinion. I
Uh-huh.
know you're happy about it.
Broncos suck.
I when they lose both their halves and a win.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to celebrate players getting injured. That's not a thing.
No, I still think Melbourne win. I still think they win.
Probably right, but Brisbane were in front.
Yeah.
They
It's a penalty goal.
only Melbourne scoreless for 20 minutes is still pretty impressive.
Yeah, and look,
Xavier Coates had to ruin all of it by being fast.
they're not fast enough, apparently.
No, he was caught by a D.
Mariner.
Yeah.
No, Selwyn Connor.
The Mariner was there as well.
Yeah, and in that run, it destroyed two of the Broncos' halves.
And possibly their season.
Yeah,
That is how quickly this can happen.
absolutely.
Reynolds and Mann both go down.
Yeah, Reynolds is out for 4 weeks at minimum, and
Mann down for 6 weeks at minimum.
Man only comes back if they go.
Yeah.
But don't celebrate injuries, right? I feel bad for Ryan Reynolds.
Please don't be happy that Ezra Mann got
It couldn't happen to a nicer bloke.
No, well, look, I mean, understandably, there's still people, and I'm one of them. I still don't think he should be playing. I'm sorry,
I think that's fair.
and maybe this is like the footy god saying, "Bugging you."
If he got a job, he's in jail.
That's it. Not necessarily in jail, but he gets quite a lot. He's doing community service. He's doing all that sort of stuff. So
Look, I think
because he's football, they apparently have this weird aura about them.
that whole thing has been talked about for months.
Yeah.
We don't
Really to do it now. So Xavier Coates runs 85 metres, gets caught by Selwyn Cobbo. Just his legs weren't out. That arm and the ball came down at the same time. And when it's simultaneous, it goes with the.
I know there was quite a bit of discourse as to whether that was the correct call.
It was close. The problem with the call is you got the two frames and they're not necessarily going the way it would have looked when the ball
The way I see it is, I think that Cobbo was closer to the touchline than his hand was to grounding the ball in the in goal. So I think he probably went out first, but his own post, sorry. And wingers, they're all the same. But yeah, I think that I would have said he went into touch first, but there is legitimately no way of doing that without like better frame rate cameras and stuff. So I'm not going to overly complain about it.
And I know you're going to talk about the completion rate and stuff like that. I don't care if you lose your two halves. You should still complete better than 68%.
I completely agree with that. That is
It's not 62.
62.
It's even worse.
I think having to swap around everything middle of the game doesn't help.
No,
Especially when now Reece Walsh, who is very, very gunslinger, like sort of rocks and diamonds player, is going to be the main attacking weapon. This sort of stuff is going to happen.
and that's the thing. Walsh, I think, tried to take on too much. Trust Ben Hunt. He's been there and done it for long enough.
He's now the losing player of all
I
time.
know, it kind of sucks.
He's lost the most games.
He has
He's lost one extra in the same amount of games as Paul Gallen.
So he is, yep, there we go.
It's not the highest percentage. There's somebody further down that's lost about 75% of their game, which isn't the same.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, no.
His name's Morgan Harper.
Yeah, so it's
Anyway.
just, the Brisbane didn't really have any attack as soon as, or they didn't have the ability to put up any sort of attacking.
And the defence fell apart.
And their defense fell apart because they just couldn't
hold the ball. And not holding the ball didn't help.
Yeah, that is true.
So-
Just dour for Brisbane.
Payne Haas is normal, does his bits.
He's so good.
that he
And
has to do.
he had to play a lot more minutes this game because of all the injuries. He churned out 150 metres, 5 offloads, 46 tackles with no misses. Just standard Payne Haas stuff. He's so good.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes. The Brisbane are really interesting now because it feels a bit like what's happening to the Warriors, where it's pretty important injuries have now come up for them at the back end of the year. And now they have a run home, including the Finns, Knights, and Cowboys. If you're going to play the Knights and Cowboys, this is the time to do it. So it'll probably be enough to get them into finals. And then if people are back, we'll see how they go. It's a matter of getting there because they're technically only one win inside the top 8. So I am curious to see
If
how
they
they
go to
go.
the Finns next week, that's going to be a problem.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
You know, they could fall out of the 8.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
But Melbourne win easily. They got carried by all their backs, all of them. They were all excellent. Tyron Wishart, Ryan Pappenhausen, Cameron Munster is playing like the best player in football right now.
But he's being outshone by somebody else in his own team.
Who is this?
Harry Grant.
Oh man, what a stretch of football he's putting together.
His last 6 or 7 games have been since Origin have been amazing.
Another 120 meters out of dummy half, a try assist, 2 line break assists. He was very, very, very.
I would say that I think Craig Bellamy knows how to get his team ready for the finals.
He always does. It's from
They have fully defied the Penrith curse.
I hate it.
They're going to be in the top 4. They may be in the top 2.
You had one job, Penrith. You had one job. You were supposed to kill them. Now they've come back and they've got more heads. It sucks.
Well done, Melbourne. You keep going, and you're actually leading the comp for a couple of
The
games.
next 3 are really interesting. They run into Penrith, the Dogs, and the Roosters. That's going to be really, really intriguing because that's top 5 teams and teams wanting to make finals. Melbourne are quite important now.
Melbourne, I think, have definitely the possibility to win all 3 of those.
I have no doubt. It's completely possible they just win out.
Yeah.
But it's like, they're probably going to finish second.
Yeah,
Let's say whoever wins out of the Dogs and Storm 2 weeks from now is going to finish in second place. It's playing for a home final.
Yep.
That's huge. So I'm very, very interested to see how Melbourne.
Well, even if they get third, they still get at least one home final. Yeah. But really, really good game from Melbourne.
Yep.
Unfortunate for Brisbane to lose their players, which is going to actually really impact their next few weeks.
Yes, it's going to hurt them quite a bit, actually. Moving on from one premiership contender to another, the Penrith Panthers absolutely dismantled Newcastle at Newcastle. I know you're not happy about it, but unfortunately that is what happened.
Yes. Look, they played well. I mean, you can't
They
really...
won last week.
Well, they shouldn't have won last week. They did, and they're obviously making the most of it now.
Mm-hmm. This is what Isaiah Yo too. He's the best lock in football. And now we're left here looking at, Isaiah Papali'i might actually be really good again.
We know he's good.
We know he's good, but not as like a middle forward. We know how good he is on the edge. But he's just...
Newcastle were very bad. They're well-wanted defence, which has been good this year, you have to say.
Unfortunately, it collapses under the weight of literally having no attack. They have nothing.
Put it in through Bradman best.
The thing that confuses me is they were on a decent run of form for a few weeks when they put Jackson Hastings in. He was playing fairly well. They were looking okay. And then for some unknown reason, it started to drop in for Jake Arthur. And surprise, surprise, they suck again.
I read this story somewhere else. I wonder where that might be.
Narrows conceded 6 penalties. It was just
not good.
Not Jaden Brayley though. He was excellent. He made 68 tackles.
The Brayley brothers are going pretty well.
They're a good couple of players, aren't they? It's very good. It's just uncharacteristically weak defense. Because even earlier in the year, they would still earlier in the year, Penrith scored 48 points in this game. Penrith probably would have only scored 26 earlier in the season if Newcastle were.
Yeah, that's the And they are missing. Their best attacking weapon. He hasn't been playing for some time, right?
Exactly.
Longer.
He's not Fletcher Sharp. He's also out.
Yeah, well, they're missing a couple of their.
And then they're playing Dane Gagai at fullback. So that's what you was. And Jacob.
Yeah, look, it was a great win by Penrith. We know that Brian Toto does what Brian Toto does.
Another 240 million. That's potential. He's still at 100%. No, he's not fully healthy at all. They can afford to rest him. Yeah, they could. That's how well they're going right now. After being in the last earlier, a third of the way through the year, they were in last, and now they're in the top 4.
Yeah. Well, look, Penrith, look. I think next week's a bigger thing. They're going against Melbourne. So I
They
personally,
play like they did here, like 88% completions, 60% of the ball, making 8 line. They won't make 8 line breaks against Melbourne, but that completion percentage is going to do wonders for them. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how far Penrith can push them.
I just like Melbourne because, and we'll talk about it later, because I think Bouchard's starting to come into his own a bit in that role that he's
Oh
playing.
yeah,
With,
oh yeah. But speaking of people blossoming into their roles, Blaze Talani.
Yeah,
I remember there were a lot of doubts like when he first came in as to like whether he was the true like 5'8", because people were like, oh yeah, we should play Jack Cole there the rest of the time, and now he is playing really, really good.
he's a good player. I still think he's got a little ways to go, but he's getting there, isn't he? I mean, he's certainly warmed into the Penrith system now, and with Nathan Cleary inside him, outside him, whatever you call it, it's going to be pretty good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good feature there. So, and yeah, good luck to him. I don't mind Blaze out of the team that I hate. Blaze Talani, I don't actually have too many issues with.
We haven't been corrupted by them yet.
No, he hasn't turned into some sort of wanker just yet, like the rest of them.
Not the rest of them. What do you mean? Dylan Edwards is fine. Brian Toto is fine.
Ron Toto is fine.
What?
He's a whinger.
The whinger. It's a flopper.
They're all whingers.
He's like the flop James.
He's like Mitchell Moses.
Get those
We'll talk about him.
two Oscars for acting. Anyway.
That's probably why they won when Moses was there, because they both whingers.
Penrith are in the top 4. Newcastle in the bottom 4. This season has been a complete failure for them. But Adam O'Brien's going to keep his job because Newcastle.
Yeah.
No, Castrine's.
Nobody else wants to go there.
Speaking of not wanting to go there, Canberra.
Nobody wants to go to Canberra because it's 0 freaking degrees.
Yeah, the Eagles went up down there and just kind of got bulldozed. No real surprises here, I don't think. Canberra just grinded them to death. And they did that by just giving the ball to Ethan Strange every play. Man, what a player.
He got a 3, didn't he?
He got a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just excellent. I'm going to make a bold prediction about Ethan Strange. Because we saw this year how Tom Dearden has transitioned from being like a 5'8" into a halfback and then played it at origin level and won. I think Laurie Daly's going to look at that and say, I need to do that. I have underperforming halfbacks at origin level. Ethan Strange is going to be playing origin next year. That is my prediction about him. He's
such a 5'8".
It was Luai, wasn't it?
Moses was the first one, then Luai came in because Moses got hurt.
Yes.
Well, I think Ethan Strange could go in at 5'8".
I think he could.
With Cleary at half. I wouldn't lose anything.
No, I don't think so. And even if you want to go he came through the grades as like a hybrid sort of half centre thing. If Latrell Mitchell keeps getting hurt and Tom Trbojevic keeps getting hurt, and there's a centre spot open for him, I think he'll be there in some capacity.
Well, Reggie Stewart came out and said he reckons that he's good enough to play for Australia.
Oh, I have no doubts about that. But he's a great player. I love
Whether
him.
they put him, he might be able to play against the lower team, but not Fiji, or maybe Fiji.
Who knows?
New Guinea, one of those, but I don't think he plays against England or New Zealand yet.
He was excellent. Corey Horsburgh was also excellent.
As normal, he puts in good effort. I like Papali'i as well. He's fun.
I think they're just kind of managing a few of these guys. Like Joe Tapney is clearly not operate at full pelt until finals, which is fair because he's 30, 31. It affects my fantasy team, but that's about it. They're going to have the minor premiership thing.
I think
Second calling.
Melbourne will probably get second, so I think it's going to be Canberra, Melbourne, and then probably the Dogs.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
If
And fourth is still up for grabs.
my Penrith tip is right, I'm going to say, I told you so in all your faces.
Boy, I put them in 4th. I'm going to hit that nail on the head.
I put them in 3rd.
Yeah, well, they're 2.5 games behind the team in 3rd. They win a lot.
I think I put them in 5th.
Something like that. Yeah, which
could be
still
fine.
possible,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, if Melbourne beat them next week and the Warriors somehow win or Cronulla,
Yeah.
they could be back out of the again.
We all have consecutive things. 3, 4, 5.
The fight for the East is still interesting, and the fight for
The order is also, like, everything hasn't been decided besides Canberra, essentially.
Probably from 3 through to 9, they can still move around quite a bit. I think Melbourne are pretty safe as well, to be fair. But
Well, they're not going to fall out anyway.
no,
It's like Brisbane aren't guaranteed in the 8 either.
no. And especially now losing a couple of their mainstays. So,
We'll see how that goes.
okay, moving on.
Manly yet.
Oh, do we have to talk about
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm talking about Ethan Bullimore because I like talking about him.
Yeah, and he's good.
He's
How
really
much
good.
you take him?
I think he's extended there.
Yeah, I did hear that too. Yeah, to the end of 20.
You know, he turned out just a casual 180 metres.
He runs at 1,000,000 miles an
He
hour.
reminds me a lot of Cohen
He
Hess.
does. That's what I was going to say. Without the penalties.
I thought Bullimore was good. I thought Tolu Kola had a pretty good game as well. He's
Fast becoming one of the best centers in the competition.
I think they should be playing him at fullback. If you're gonna put anyone at fullback that isn't Tom Trbojevic, I think it should be him.
He's going to give you more meters than Leon.
Absolutely. And
what he's not a bad player.
and his
but
speed on like long sweeping plays and stuff would be lethal. I don't know why they're not
he
doing
is
that.
so fast.
Yeah. Outside that, it's just no surprises here with Manly. I think they're probably out of the 8 now.
Even if there's mathematically a chance, I don't think they've got the momentum is way against them at this point.
Their games left are against the Tigers, who are on the up and up and could still technically make finals. They have the Dolphins, who at this point could be a 50-50 for them. They have Dragons, who are also playing very, very well. And then they've got the Warriors, who are dangerous as ever. You know, if they want to make the 8, they need to beat the Dolphins in 2 weeks. That's the game. If they lose that, it's done.
Yeah.
So I will be watching this team with quite a bit of interest because they still could play spoiler for the Dolphins and the Warriors, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, the Warriors stay in the 8, but where in the 8 they say we don't know.
Yeah, the fact that they're not guaranteed a home final from how they started is sad.
Well, it is. And once again, we know it coincides with losing Metcalf. Anyway, well done to Canberra for beating Manly because Manly
I think Manly are missing. I didn't realise how much they've missed Taniela Paseka this year. I think they're really, really missing like that big forward in the middle.
I think he's a lot like a Payne Haas.
I think he plays very, very similarly to Payne Haas. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So they are missing him.
Oh, yeah. And look, a lot of teams have been crippled by injuries this year, so including we'll get there.
It's just, it's just Manly. They're a bit uninspiring. The DCE Brooks thing isn't working. I think DCE is just packing for his Bondi holiday next year. But,
Last hurrah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'll be back to hating the Roosters again.
Yeah.
Speaking of teams I hate, the Cronulla Sharks.
Yes.
I told you this would happen. I knew this would happen. My word.
I even tipped them.
I'm so consistently frustrated by Cronulla. How they can have the roster they have with the continuity they have and continue to be such underperformers. Them and Newcastle are the most frustrating teams in the league right now.
Really?
Yes.
Not the Cowboys.
No.
That's interesting.
It's the consistent finalists and bowing out every single time. And now they can.
I think they're going to bow out before the finals at this point.
Yeah, I don't think they will. They're still on 12 wins, which is like in the top half of like the 5th to 6th area. But like, they're not. I'm not scared of them at all. If I'm any team in the top 8, I'm not scared of them at all. I'd be more scared of playing the Tigers. I'd be more scared of the Tigers.
I'd be more scared of playing Parramatta.
That's wrong right now. Yeah, absolutely. Like, how do you go against the Dragons, who are the most, like, at least this season, I think, one of the most inconsistent teams, and you complete at 63% and somehow break less tackles against the team who is the 3rd worst in the league at breaking tackles? How does that happen? I don't know what Hines and Trindle's combination is. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks terrible. Will Kennedy keeps making stupid errors, and Adam Fanua-Blank has been a complete disaster as a signing. He has not been what they signed him to be. He has regressed so much.
Who?
Adam Fanua-Blank. Yes.
He's really more consistent forward.
No. His past month and a half has been below average, in my opinion.
Do you think that any kind of signs of how well Cronulla is going? Because they've been pretty average for a while.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
They've won games, but it's never
But
been
they need him to find form because if he doesn't, they're screwed. The only reason this team has been somewhat competitive is because Blake Brayley has been the best dummy half for some reason. That's it.
And look, I think Hamlin Ueli has done very well off the bench.
He was good in this game.
I think Toby Rudolph's good.
I think he can. I think sometimes he can be a bit passive I think especially like when his team has the ball, I don't think he takes part in like trying to build momentum at all. It's when the team already has momentum he says, "Hey, I'm actually going to take a run now because it makes my stats look better." So I don't know. I don't really like Toby Rudolph.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like they had a chance to lock up top four spot. They win this, they are in four. But no, they decide to lose. I hate
I'll
Cronulla.
help my tits.
I got this one right as well. I'm very, very proud of getting that one.
We're not going to talk about it again.
Yeah, good luck, Cal.
Yeah, I don't know how this team is consistently so bad. Well, bad, but not really bad. They're just annoying.
Yeah, but it wasn't great against a team that they probably should have beaten.
That's been great for a while. Like we had them finishing the second second leading anyway. I thought that this was be the year they'd break through, but it's gotten worse.
Adam Fanua Blake at the time one of the premier forwards of the competition,
Worse.
and they are not as good as they were last year.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to the Dragons.
Yeah.
They were great.
Okay.
However, I will say it was kind of racist for Clint Gutherson to play his best game of the year during Indigenous round. So
Why? Because he's white.
yes, that is what that means.
Nico Hines is white. He's also
He's Indigenous.
Yeah, but he's white.
Clint Gutherson is like Caucasian.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if you look at some of, his game, he played very, very well. So, you can't take that off him. He was good. Look, I don't call him King Gutho because there's only one king and he doesn't play anymore. Walter Lewis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever then. But yeah, Clint Gutherson was great. I liked Hayden Buchanan, the debutant centre. I thought he played quite well. Got his first try in his first game. Clint Gutherson is not that was nice. And I got very concerned for this team when Toby Cashman went down. Jack DeBellin has been phenomenal in his stead, I think.
Bellon's been very, very good.
Like,
It's like a second wind or something.
He churned out,
Young.
no, he's 33 or something. He churned out 160 metres, 35 tackles with no misses. He was strong.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to call
He's been playing under beds recently, so
I don't know whether to call the Shane Flanagan extension justified or not, because I just don't know what to think of the Dragons. I don't know whether they're improving or getting worse. It's just impossible to tell.
yeah, because they're beating teams, but
Because they do this and then they come out next week and lose to Newcastle somehow.
Yeah.
That's just how they go. They need to find some consistency if
Yeah.
they're going to make a finals
I
push next year.
yeah.
Let's hope so anyway. I don't mind the Dragons. I think they're okay. They haven't been good for a while.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they haven't got the finals for a long time, have they?
no, I think it was Woods.
Wayne Bennett.
I was going to say 2015 or 16, I think was the last year they made finals. No one even talks about that. Maybe I'm missing a year. But I feel like no one talks about the fact that the Dragons have not been successful for a very long time.
In 2017, they were the team that was knocked out. So
By the Dogs, yeah.
the Cowboys could get into the
I can't remember what year it was. I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the Dragons. I don't know what else to say. They're the Dragons. Moving on from that one to what was
an absolute shellacking.
it was also
What happened?
it was also a weird game. Just weird. You're playing the first 10 minutes, everything looks somewhat normal. Marky Mark scored 2 tries, everything is good. And then for some reason the fight breaks out. For whatever reason. Frank Molo and now Faku White start going at it. Everyone goes in and then starts to come down. And Spencer Leniu squares up Street Fighter style against Oblix Taufa for no reason. I don't know why he did that. It's so insane. So that's what
Somebody wanted to get into a fight.
He's just Spencer Leniu, that's fair. So then all 4 of them get sent in. So it's 11 on 11.
11 on 11.
And then, because that happened straight after the second Marky Mark try. Then the ensuing kickoff, Kurt Donahue commits a murder on Siwa Wong with his head. Siwa Wong gets knocked out, like he's gone. Donahue isn't scratched. I don't know how he did not break HIA. I don't know how he was
He's
alive.
got HIA. He probably comes back. He should have got HIA. You don't know what's happening with the HIA rule. I think it's just,
Who knows?
it's random.
Just insane. That was such a weird first 10 minutes, and then the Roosters just murdered. It was dominant.
There wasn't any. But
No room for misinterpretation here.
the Dolphins were poor.
I just think the Roosters might be one of the worst possible matchups for the Dolphins. Because the Dolphins' weakness right now is that their forward pack is injured to all hell and back. And now their main meter eater in Herbie Farnworth is gone. And now you're going against the Roosters, who have, in my opinion, one of the better forward packs in the league, and Sam Walker is back. They're at two opposite.
They're kind of humming at the moment, the Roosters.
They're looking really good.
I think they're a smoky still for the comp.
If they make the top 8, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
I'd be really.
The Bronco knows how to get teams into the finals and what to do when they get there. So
like last year, they finished, 6th or something? And we were like, oh yeah, they're going to be straight sets. They nearly beat Melbourne in the second round of the finals. I'm very, very intrigued about the Roosters. I'm very, very interested. Despite being sin bins, now Fahu White still pumped out 200 metres.
he will be good.
He was fresh.
He was fresh.
He played 53 minutes at 200 metres. That's just absurd. He's so good.
He's making many points, so thank you very much.
He's so good.
He is one of the premier players at the moment.
The top 5.
Oh, absolutely.
He has to be.
I think his post-contact would be almost the
Oh, his contact is absurd.
No, his legs just keep going, man.
And James Tedesco finally pulling himself out of the slump he's been in and be amazing. 2 tries, 160 metres, 3 try assists, 7 tackle breaks.
He gets all the points from that for the Dally M, probably. So
Vintage James Tedesco.
Yeah.
That was great. They've got so many good players. Daniel Tupou is now the 5th all-time try scorer. No one talks about that. He's only 1 behind 4th place. He's like,
he'll get that by the end of the year.
he'll get it by next week.
Most
Get it by next week.
Kick for him.
Well, that's what Sam Walker's been doing.
Yeah.
Man, he's looking really good.
And Sam Walker knows where to put that ball.
His short kicking game is second to none.
Yeah.
He's so accurate.
Guess what? He doesn't miss goals either. Until the last one.
27 streak goes down on the last goal of the game. That's so.
I'm guessing he was tired. He kicked a whole bunch that game. His leg was sore.
Yeah, it was just amazing from the
Yeah.
Roosters here.
Yeah.
They're really, really interesting for the run home. I'm very, very intrigued to see how they go. The Dolphins are in trouble now. They're just wrecked by injuries. Herbie's gone now. And without any sort of meter eating, Isaiah Qatar and Jeremy Marshall King just can't do their thing. Although Isaiah Qatar is still trying his damnedest. He's still a great player.
Oh, he's still one of the best halfbacks in the comp. There's no doubt about that.
He ran 120 metres. He was the 3rd highest runner for the Dolphins. No one of the forwards got over 100 metres. Yeah. I think their highest runner was I think it was Tavita Naufahu.
Not Hannah.
No, Hammer's bad. He barely got. Where's Hammer's bad? That's a place, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, good.
I think.
I'll make a meme.
That was in his lemon bat. So
Yeah, but Kaufusi and Lolo are now out. They're out till round 25. Herbie, depending on how deep they go in the finals, if they even make it, could be out for the rest of the year. It's a steep climb to make finals.
They're going to struggle.
Yeah, their game against Brisbane this week is huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge, huge game.
That's what they could still win given
They could still win.
Brisbane's injury toll.
Yeah, that's their only hope. They need to pray that Brisbane's injuries are more impactful than their injuries. But yeah, it's just there wasn't.
Playmakers being out is probably pretty.
What else can you say about the Dolphins in this game?
There's not much.
Exactly.
They weren't good.
Just
They were played out enthused, out everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not really.
Another fairly by the books game here. I feel terrible for the Warriors.
There's a number of games that if Metcalf is there, they win.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Last week they win. The week before they win. I think it's just, it's unfortunate at the moment that they hit the injury mountain and can't get over it.
I think, everything's going to be talked about because of the Luke Metcalf injury. I think Mitch Barnett's ACL has also been incredibly impactful.
Yes.
Because
I had forgotten about that.
He's so good, and they've really needed him to be a foil for James Fisher-Harrison. They just haven't had it. Vaimanga has been good. Jackson Ford's been pretty good, but none of them are Mitch Barnett. So I think that's been a big problem for them as well. It just sucks that it always feels bad when injuries derail a season, but they're not the only team this year that's happened to.
No. It's happened to
North Queensland, the North Queensland one's less so, but yeah. But still, I think the Dogs are playing too well right now for the Warriors to have won this game, even with those guys in. But even They lost Tamari Martin 20 minutes into this game, so they had to reshuffle the spine as well, and that was it's a head knock. So we didn't even get to see
I'm
him.
guessing with him, they're very, very careful with those
Mhm.
of having him
Yeah.
years back. Yeah.
Just I don't know. The Warriors are just like even like Aaron Clark and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck were far from their best in this game. It just felt like they were a bit tired. They just feel a bit.
Well, that's the problem, right? I mean, they had the worst travel. Obviously, they had to travel further than
Yeah, absolutely.
and that doesn't help,
No.
right? So it was unfortunate. Was on the Dogs. You played well enough to beat an understrength Warriors team.
Yeah, well,
But you can only play who's in.
but Canterbury, to their credit, did play very well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
84%. They had 56% of the ball. They had 30 more tackle breaks, which by corollary means they had 30 less missed tackles. It was just fairly clinical from them. I think they looked a lot better when they moved Crichton to fullback when they were like in the red zone, like almost like the roving centre role that that looked a lot better, especially because they get to move around that to the centres. He gets to do his thing of break tackles and throw offloads.
Yeah.
So I thought they looked quite a bit better when they do that. My only concern is when they do go down that right side, they're leaving out Jacob Preston a lot, which kind of scares me because he's an excellent footballer. Like his line running is excellent. His post contact's really good. His defense is still excellent, but I feel like they should be utilizing him a little bit more because that's when they were at their best last year when they were attacking through the edges of Kickow and Preston. I think they need to go back to that. That's my only concern with them. They're tied with the Storm on 15 wins. They have a top four spot essentially locked up. I think there's still a bit to iron out, but I do think the conditions in this game kind of exacerbated those. Just as big
horrible. Yeah. Yeah. It was horrible weather. So the last few weeks had bad weather.
Seasons had bad weather. It's been very, very strange. I hope you enjoy the next 3 years where it's bone dry. That'll be fun. Speaking of bone dry,
Jaden Campbell.
my tear ducts after this game. Jaden Campbell, we need to have a conversation about how to score a try. So when you get into the in goal, right, you put the ball down. You don't let Latrell Mitchell ambush you from behind.
That's
That's happened one too many times in the past for people to still be doing that.
I know that the conversation about the entire thing was the penalty at the end that was not given that should have been given.
Should have been
It was
given.
not a high tackle. It was on Jaden Campbell
There were
again.
2 high tackles in the one. It should have definitely been given.
Yeah.
But like another team, I don't think the Titans generally lie down for penalties. And,
No, not really.
and I was listening to Gordon Tallis, and he was happy that he didn't lie down for a penalty because that's not a way to win a game or even tie a game. I would have been happy if he had because I think the Gold Coast were the better team.
I think that's fair. They had the majority of the ball. They had completed 80%. They had 500 more meters. They were the better team.
Yeah.
And they somehow lose to what is possibly the most injured team in the history of football. It's just frustrating. Learn the word down, Jaden. Down. Or stay down. Just down.
Interesting how he kicked it from the sideline this week as well.
Are there any extraneous circumstances? I don't think so. Interesting.
I don't know about that.
I was happy seeing Lofi Khan Pereira back for 60 minutes before he hurt himself again. But, like, he was great. 14 runs, 216 meters.
Well, we know he's got speed.
He was excellent.
Yeah.
I thought he was really, really
He's
strong.
got a good step too.
His footwork is
On
cool.
a swerves well. He has got good movement over the turf.
Yeah, they just need to.
And he's injured again.
And he's injured again. I thought AJ Brimson was great.
Brimson's been very good in the last few
Really
weeks.
picked it up. And unfortunately, it comes just as Keanu Keeney is getting healthy. So we're only going to see not much more of it, I don't think.
Yeah.
And, you know, with Tino and, at least for this game, Mo Fotuaika being out, I think Jamin Jolliffe has held down the fort pretty well in the forwards. Cleese Haas has really surprised me. I think he's been really strong.
I actually thought Tino's brother,
Isaac?
Isaac, wasn't too bad either. He's massive.
I
I didn't realise he was so big. I think he's not tiny. I think he's his brother. Yeah. I thought he had a relatively good game as well. So, you know.
Just Paxton guy also. I kind of like him. He's fun. He's nothing flashy, but he's like I like Charlotte Geimer as well. Just like these kind of non-assuming forwards who just go about their business. I like it. They're fun. The Titans run the Warriors, Dolphins, and Tigers in their final game.
Usually lose all three of those.
So they need to win one of them to at least try and get off the bottom of the ladder. And they need to. They're 2 games in front. Newcastle are the only one that's only 1 game in front of them. Let's hope they can get a win. I just don't want them to.
I'll be screaming for the Cowboys to win this week.
Oh, yes, they will be. But yeah, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
The Rabbits, Latrell Mitchell's back again, and he looks pretty good.
How many times is he going to be out and back and out and back and out and back?
Commentators are D1 Glazers.
We don't have divisions here. That joke doesn't land in Australia.
Still, they did it to Penrith 2 weeks ago against the Titans. Now they're doing it to Latrell. He didn't do anything!
Except for
setting up 2 tries.
There's 2 things. And they're
well, 2 major things, and they won.
They won by 2 points. You don't think those were significant?
They're pretty important. Look, I'll give credit where it's due. Latrell had a pretty good game for his first game back from injury.
Yeah, hamstring injury.
Yeah, so, look, what can you say? Titans, you actually blew it.
Yeah.
This time. Last week you were ripped off. This week you ripped yourself off.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Alex Johnston gets 2 more tries. He's now 3 behind tying Ken Irvin's record. I really want him to get it against the Roosters in round 27. Wouldn't that be perfect? Final game of the year. You're going to let all the fans should be allowed to storm the field when it happens. If they don't allow it, I'm rioting.
Yeah, that actually probably should be a thing.
Well, they did it for, who's that AFL guy? The really big dude who kicked
what was it called? Lockett.
Yeah, he kicked his goal or whatever, and they swarm. They need to do that. That would be great. That'd be a great moment.
There was also the other guy,
Yeah.
But yes, they used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
It used to be just a thing.
Yeah.
But then, of course, insurance and stuff. So AFL and all that.
This is why the NFL one is funny, because you can call it the no fun league. I don't know if you can make a pun about that with the NRL.
No run-on league. I don't know.
A recreation league. Brendan Smith looked good in his second game of the year. I thought he was quite strong. Well, in his first game, he busted his knee or whatever it was.
It's the no.
You want to not be injured for a little while?
I thought he played well in this game. His kicking game, I think, is going to add quite a bit if he stays as the main dummy half next year. They'll do all right.
I think all dummy halves need to have a short kick.
This game just kind of reinforced what we already know about South. When Latrell is there, they are a good attacking team. They're just objectively better when he's there. I think they've successfully avoided the spoon now, which is very
I think it could be the Newcastle Knights who end up with spoon.
It would be funny. I want it to be Newcastle. It'd be great. They're going to look forward to next year. They need to have a full review of their strength and conditioning. Obviously, if they can get it right next year, I'm pretty happy for them.
Actually, to do that, but
I agree. Yeah. Speaking of one of
those teams,
the North Queensland Cowboys. What do we even say?
I felt like crying. I was so angry.
I was mad. I'm still trying to decide.
I had to walk off and have a shower, otherwise I would have said something really horrible.
I'm trying to decide whether not streaming their game is a good or bad decision. Because on the one hand,
it was a good decision.
It was funny to watch us crash out live. Because that final set was an affront to anything resembling a team wanting to win football games. Let's play it. Let's have a quick pop quiz in football next. You have just put up a kick. You're in the final minute of the game. The opposition has failed to defuse it. You have a full set in their red zone, down 1, with 1 minute left. Do you A, give the ball to Scott Drinkwater, who is notoriously a pretty good field goal kicker for the Cowboys, to kick a field goal and send it to Golden Point? 2, give it to Jake Clifford, who is also a good field goal kicker in his own right and has been playing pretty well in this game up to this point. 3, if you want to do the Hail Mary play, kick it over to the far side because it's a staggered defensive line and see if Braden Burns is unmarked to score a try. Or 4, run the ball and concede a penalty.
Yeah, they probably weren't trying to concede a penalty.
I think they were. I'm sorry, Jeremiah Nanai has one job, and it's to cut inside so it's impossible for there to be a shepherd call. Or to run into Mitch Moses.
The problem
is neither of those things.
The problem was, it still would have been classed as a shepherd. You know why? Because Clifford caught the ball inside.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If Nanai cuts inside
He catches
as
it.
the pass, he catches it on the outside, and then you can keep spreading the ball that way anyway. And who's to say Jake Clifford doesn't get through Mitch Moses? He's a big body. He's a good runner. It's just single-handedly Jeremiah Nanai is costing this team games. He is so insanely bad. I don't know. Actually, I know what's happened to him. He signed a contract and stopped giving a shit. That's what's happened.
I don't necessarily agree with you on that. People have off times. You just got to.
He's had an off 2 years.
Well, that's partly to do with the Cowboys and coaching.
They
don't do anything. They don't do anything for him now. I mean, let's not kick towards now. Who's one of the best catchers of the ball.
I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that because they put it up for him multiple times and he just didn't contest it. Like I remember a multiple
apart from the one where they scored a
try. That's the thing. Like earlier in that game, they put one up for him. He's running down the field to Joash Papali'i, who's going to catch it. He jumps up, just kind of goes past him, and even hangs an arm out. He probably should have been penalised for a tackle in the air. He's not contesting the ball at all. I don't know what his idea was there. I don't understand it.
I mean, the Cowboys have now to contest balls completely.
Oh, they've been trained out of it, clearly.
Yeah.
There's a few teams that are like that now.
Yeah.
And they're all terrible.
They just let it bounce and hope something happens.
Yeah, you look at these teams that are always contesting, like Melbourne, the Raiders, the Roosters. These are good teams, and the teams that don't, the Cowboys, Newcastle, Souths, all bad teams. I'm sorry, that cannot be a coincidence. It's that. Calvin Hess was good, which of course means he decided to give away a boneheaded penalty and be suspended for the rest of the season because that's how the Cowboys work. Jackson Purdue, piss off.
He scored 2 tries.
None of which were any of his doing. Neither of them were his thing. It's a great Lockie Galvin cosplay to completely destroy a team in a matter of 6 weeks. Justin Morgan has the defensive coaching ability of my left testicle. Send him to Castleford or whoever wants him. He can go. Todd Payton, you have the game awareness of a chair. Your personnel decisions are completely asinine and your beard is stupid. You have your head so far up your own rictum, you can diagnose your own prostate cancer. Take your stubborn, blind, bald head back to New South Wales where you could be an assistant coach to frickin' Dean Young for all I care. Just go away. I'm tired of you.
I don't associate with this.
You do.
No, I don't.
I hate Todd Payton just as much as I do. I'm sick of it.
I'm pretty sure nobody could hate him that much.
I'm sick of his stupid, stubborn face. I'm sick of everything he does being the same platitudes every single week. There is no improvement here. Why is he still the coach? They're going to keep him for next year. After they finish in the bottom 4. Why?
Because the year before they came 5th, like you just said.
And then the year before that, they came 12th or whatever.
You know, the Cowboys are definitely not playing their best football. And they haven't played their best football for some time.
Team with their caliber should not be that bad.
I don't care how many injuries you have. The team should be nowhere near the bottom 4.
No.
I don't care.
But here's the thing. A player came back and actually lifted them for a little bit.
Certain player named Jason Taylor.
Yeah, he was
Actually played very well.
I'll take him. He was all right.
Calvin Hess, what did you say? Ran for nearly 200 metres.
No, he was excellent.
Yeah,
He was
his
really
forward
good.
momentum was amazing.
Billy Owen Leah. Why
Next
did
week.
he did?
Next week.
That's like the Jay Clifford thing all over again.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Actually, I do know. But the Cowboys organization appears to not know. It's going to be incredibly frustrating when they trot this same garbage out next year, start the season not winning a game, and fire Todd Payton the season too late. Because this is how this cycle goes with this team every single time. I am sick and tired of watching the same movie every few years. It's incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Look, this is a case of the better team lost.
I don't think that's true.
Through the stats, the better team lost.
You watch the game, the Cowboys played 10 good minutes of football. And
Yeah, they completed it at 95%.
They did, yes, and they still only found 10 minutes of good football.
Yeah,
That's what frustrates me even more.
I
I don't know why their attack is so bad. Tom Dearden had a terrible game. That's how you know this is terrible.
Yeah, he he was had a down game. Clifford was actually not bad.
He'd been up for so long. I suppose he was due on. But it's just
I thought Clifford was fine, except they didn't give him the ball to kick enough. That was not his fault, though.
yeah.
And let's face it, the chance to actually win came off his boot because Alan Carter had nothing to do with that kick.
No, not at all. I don't know why he
put my foot out and hope that works.
kicked 5 times in
Yeah.
this game. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Mitchell Moses.
Yes,
He whinged enough during the game. There was so much whinging. I am so sick of his whinging. He's a good enough footballer to not do that.
Congratulations on the Oscar for Best Actor.
Look, it was definitely no try instruction, but he made it most obvious because he had a flaw.
Unfortunately, I do think, especially in the first half, I think a lot of his complaining to the referee was founded because there were a few calls on the Cowboys where I had no idea why they did.
Yeah.
But the other thing is he was whinging at his own player as well.
Well, Talon Silva deserved it. I'm sorry.
No, but
completely.
whether he did or not, it's not a good look.
SEC.
Of course he did. Football.
Mitch Moses. Great lifting up there, Mitch. You're the captain.
Yeah.
Supposed to not
Positive.
pull down. Yes.
Look, the Cowboys were better this week than they were last week. So
Such a high bar.
at least that's something.
I don't know, man.
Parramatta, look, and this is the other thing I say. This is the team, Parramatta is the team that beat a full strength Brisbane and took Melbourne right to the end of the game as well. So if you throw that in and see that we only lost because of one bad play right on the siren, then, you know, you can take a couple of little positives and that's about it. Other than that, it's a year of shambles for the Cowboys, and they need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're going to have a few years like this. Anyway, moving
For the Eels, Joe Ash looks really good. Joe Ash Buckley, he looks really good at fullback.
Yes.
I think that Riles has an interesting headache next year choosing between him and Ione for that fullback jersey. I'm curious to see which way he goes. Jermaine Hopgood finally getting decent minutes and is actually looking like a good player again. I don't know why he was playing hooker for the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Strange.
Jordan Brown May would just going now.
He just needs to go.
Yeah.
Playing with centre this week is just mean. Because it's like, I suppose we should technically play you, but like, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
And you know, they
Wonder
won.
what's happening to another player from a different club.
Mhm.
Anyway.
If they're healthy that whole year, I think they make finals.
Yeah.
I don't think that's particularly up for debate. They're a good team when Mitch Moses is playing.
Yeah.
So I guess we will see if they can do that next year. Now moving on to next week. The Cowboys play the Bulldogs up here.
NRL, yes.
It's the same crew that won last week for the Cowboys. China Palata is named in the reserves, so hopefully she's not too far away. I like it.
Good, yeah.
For the Bulldogs, both Taylor Preston and Alexis Tawanei are named in reserves, both looking to return from injuries. For the time being, Annika Wilson is named at halfback in the event that Preston can't play. So Ebony Pryor is now the new hooker. Holly Wheeler is recalled to cover the season entering syndesmosis injury for Tegan Dimmick, which sucks.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit concerned about this one, if I'm perfectly honest.
They're a good team.
They are a good team. Their strength is their forwards, and especially if they get Tawanei back in this game. The Cowboys forwards are underperforming. I think the Cowboys might have the polish to win, but I'm expecting a pretty close one.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a full game, that's for sure. Yeah, I think it'll be a good game to watch.
To the Cowboys, maybe a little bit more.
I'll take the Cowboys. I think it'll be a good game to watch.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. It'll be one of those like defensive sort of showing ones, much like this next one, where Penrith will run into Melbourne at Combank Stadium with the same 17 from last week that demolished Newcastle, which means Isaiah Yeo is still rested for his shoulder injury. For Melbourne, Ryan Pappenhausen is out through concussion protocol, so Nick Meaney is the fullback, and Marion Seve joins the backs.
He's a good player.
He's a good player as well. Nelson Ferguson is in the reserve, so he looks back and the suspension of the year or something stupid.
He's got to stay out of suspension. It was his suspension that basically lost them the chance to win last year. So
they've split the last 6 Penrith home games. This is going to be game of the round. I have no qualms about that. I think this is going to be an excellent defensive showcase. Who's going to win? No idea. This is a coin flip.
it's going to be Melbourne.
You hope it's Melbourne.
It's going to be Melbourne.
I think you're probably right, but I'm tipping Penrith.
I just think at the moment Melbourne is still going at a pretty good rate, and they still haven't peaked, which is a bit scary for other teams. If they choose this game to peak, Penrith are in a lot of trouble.
It's going to be Penrith always by 20.
Yeah.
So I guess that's fair, but I'm picking Penrith because we can't have anything nice in this world where we're heading for a fifth.
You don't like Melbourne. That's why I'm picking Penrith. Don't think anything about a stupid looking 5 in a row for Penrith. It's to do with you don't like the Storm.
And it's the fact that Melbourne have been kind of up and down this season.
But more recently, they've been up.
So we had been down after losing to... Did they lose to? Someone beat them, and it was weird. I don't remember who it was. They lost to somebody. No, we beat... No, they beat us.
Yeah.
We beat them 22-18 down there. Yeah.
No, we didn't.
5.
I'm talking about like recently. They lost to someone fairly recently. I don't remember who it was. But I know they do this thing where they like win convincingly, then they'll have a few mid games and then go down. We're in the mid games area. Whether that results in a loss against a Penrith team that is really firing right now, I don't know. I guess no, I'm talking about Penrith. Penrith, we're down.
I think they've got a 9-game winning streak, which Melbourne are going to bust for them.
I think you're probably right, but I'm tipping them because I don't care.
Because you don't like Melbourne.
Yes,
It's just a dumb reason.
now, Warriors run to the Dragons at Mount Smart Stadium. Ryan Martin is out, so Tanner Boyd gets his second chance at the halfback jersey.
And so after the Storm beat Penrith, this is a game for the Warriors to get back in the top 4.
Maybe. Wade Egan's back, which is a huge in.
That is excellent. You can actually see when he went out all their impetus to go forward.
He is such a crafty player.
He is very, very good. Yeah.
So he's in, but Kurt Capel is out with a head knock. So Leka Halasima starts, and Eddie Iremaya Tawava joins the bench for I think his second game of the year.
More live Asians.
Yes. For the Dragons. Fiene returns in a straight swap for the injured Moses Sully. So that means Hayden Buchanan gets to keep his centre spot, which I'm happy for because he's good. Michael Mollo is back. He returns via the bench alongside Loco Pacifica Tonga, who I love. He's awesome. The Warriors have won their last 3 at Mount Smart Stadium against the Dragons. This needs to be their get-right game.
I think they will.
It can't come any later. I think they will. I think they'll get up here. The Dragons have been...
I think Egan being in is a big in for them.
The Dragons have been up for too long for how inconsistent they've been this year. I think they're due a down game. I think this is where the Warriors...
I think Moses Sully is one of the better players for the last few weeks. And losing him is probably a bigger loss than you probably think.
I think that's fair.
So he always gives them good going forward. Yeah, I think the Lions will use one. Yeah.
I think that's fair. And now, the only other one that could probably be game of the week, Roosters Dogs. This will be really, really entertaining, I think.
Yeah.
So, Siwa Wong is out after being murdered by Kurt Donahue.
Yeah.
Egan Butcher starts on the edge. Blake Steep joins the bench. Now, Fahu White starts at prop. Victor Radley is at fairly standard stuff, what you'd expect.
Yeah.
The Dogs trot out the same 17. Connor Tracy is lurking in the reserves, just in case he comes back from his ruptured spleen or whatever it was. It was something like that. Oh, no, he had that.
Abdominal tear?
Yes, that's right. No, the spleen was Fletcher Sharp. You're right. It was that abdominal tear. Yeah, it's like a hernia, but worse. But yeah. So yeah, Tracy could be back. I assume he'll probably be back next week, although they might just rest him for finals because they're not going to fall out of the top 4, I don't think.
They're playing still pretty well.
Yeah. The Roosters won 4 of their last 5 at Allianz against the Dogs, but the latest of those games was in 2018, which is a while ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know how interesting. This is a really, really interesting matchup. The Roosters are red hot. I think they have the edge on the edges. Pun fully intended.
Yeah.
With Karaz still playing fullback right now, I think the Roosters have a pretty good shot, especially with Sam Walker. Especially with Sam Walker's short king game. He can just go up and over them through Marky Market and Daniel Tupou the entire night. I think the Roosters can get up here.
I think they can too. Yeah. I think the Roosters are, like you say, coming off a really good win.
If the Dogs are going to win this, they need to go full Dogs of War.
Yeah.
Fight them. legitimately just bite a chunk out of
I
him,
think that's illegal.
James Graham style.
I think that's illegal. Or Mike Tyson style.
I suppose. I
I
figured I'd keep it in
football.
Yeah, we can.
But yeah, I think the Roosters win here,
Yeah.
and then I start getting really scared about them because I think they could be really, really good in final. The Sharks play the Titans at Shark Park. Jesse Ramian's out, so Malin Hiroti joins the centres, and Billy Burns comes in for the suspended Britton Nikita. He's out until finals, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesse Colquhoun and Dan Atkinson join the bench.
I'm just wondering, just before we go on, that tackle on the head steal on,
Yes, the cannonball.
yeah, did the guy actually leave the field?
I don't remember who it was on, actually. You remember who it was on? Pretty sure he did. I don't remember,
Well, I hope he didn't, because otherwise, given 3 weeks, it's a bit of a waste.
I guess. But yeah, I think it comes down to Cohen that's his third defense of the year. He has a lot of loading from his previous ones. It's just a function of that rather than a function of how bad the tackle itself was. The judiciary is weird.
Yes, weirdly biased against Queensland teams as well.
For the Titans, they have 3 big ins this week with Tino, Philip Sammy, and Mo Fotuaika all back. But Jojo Kelly, Jojo Fafita, Brian Kelly, and Wafi Camperera are all out. So what happens is Fleece Haas and Regan Campbell-Gillard shift to the bench, and Tony Francis joins the wing. Sharks are 5-3 off losing this year, but have won 3 of their past 4 at Shark Park against the Titans. I don't think the Sharks are going to be as bad as they were last week. Look, the return of Tino and Mo are going to help the forward pack a lot. I think that's going to be interesting. The question becomes how much the last 2 weeks will have demoralized the Titans.
2 games they should have won.
2 games they should have won.
One not their own fault, one their own fault.
I think they can put up a fight here. I just think Cronulla will be a little bit too much. I think it'll be a fairly high scoring affair. Cronulla by 6.
I'm not to the Titans.
That's all I
I'm not to the Titans.
think it's entirely possible because I hate Cronulla, but I'm not that high on the Titans this week, unfortunately, especially after losing to the Rabbits.
One team you seem to be high on is the Broncos. After their injury problems and stuff.
But so do the Dolphins. They also have injury problems.
Yeah, but not in the halves.
No, in the forwards, which is Brisbane's strength. So Brisbane losing Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mam, Ben Hunt and Billy Walters become the new halves combo for the foreseeable future. Corey Pakes is the new starting hooker. Tyson Smoothie joins the bench. Selwyn Cobbo's injury sees Josiah Karapani recalled on the wing. I don't know what Jesse Arthurs has done to become so out of favour. I thought he was quite good,
Bad hairstyle.
I guess. For the Dolphins, Frank Molo's suspension sees Mark Nichols start, and Kenny Bromwich is on the bench for his first NRL action since round 8. Yeah.
I think he's a good player still.
Brisbane have won 3 of the 4 games between these two at Suncorp Stadium. I'll put it to you this way. It is Pat Carrigan and Payne Haas against Oblix Taufa and Kurt Donahue. That is my reasoning for thinking Brisbane are going to win this game. They're just going to get bulldozed.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's on my Brisbane.
I think it's a game that I think it's a game that Finns can definitely win.
I think they definitely can. They need to go around them and try. I think they just need to hang in and let Reece Walsh make mistakes. That should be the game plan. Just be solid.
Yeah.
They don't need to do anything flashy.
Football, watch the Brisbane team implode.
Exactly. And just try and contain Haas and Carrigan. So I know that should be like the game plan against Brisbane a lot, but that's damn hard to
You can have
do.
a game plan, but whether it comes off is another question.
Exactly. I don't know. I just think that Brisbane's forwards might have a little bit too much for the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins' backs are still better, but yeah.
Fair.
We'll see.
We'll see. This is a game that could go either way. I have no issue with anyone thinking the Dolphins can win this. It's fair. Alrighty, next game. The Rabbits running to the Eels at Allianz Stadium.
That was good, bro.
The only change for the Bunnies is Lockie Hubner being out, so Shaq Mitchell gets to play his first game of the season. I actually like watching him; he's fun.
With the bigger version.
Which does mean that Jai Grace stays at fullback and Latrell Mitchell stays in the centres, which I don't hate. Cody Walker is named in the reserves. I thought that he was out for the season, apparently not. I know that there's whispers that Cam Murray is going to be back early. Please don't play him. Don't risk him getting hurt again. Just let him do his thing in the off-season. He will come back and be amazing. The Eels play the same 17, but Isaiah Ioni is lurking in the reserves just in case they want to play him over Joe Ash. The only game that they've played between each other at Allianz, the Eels have won. However, it is the only game between these two that the Eels have won out of the past 9.
Yeah, but that's when the Bunnies had a full strength team, probably.
It was in 2023, so I don't think so. That was the first year of them being really, really bad.
Well, the Bunnies are also fully injured right now. And
This
and
is
Parramatta Eels actually falling
I
apart.
know Parramatta beat the Cowboys, so I'm tipping the Bunnies out of spite.
That's probably
I think Parramatta are going to win.
I think you're probably right. I think you're probably right, but
Yeah.
go
I
Bunnies.
reckon probably a couple of tries, actually. So,
Yes. This is an interesting one. The Tigers come up against the Seagulls, also at Allianz Stadium for some reason. I don't know why it's here. I had to double check
the
to make
Bunnies
sure.
seem to have 45 home grounds, so
I had to make sure that it wasn't a typo, and I looked at both NRL and Fox Sports, and they both had it at Allianz. So it's whatever then. Stafford Toa is named to return in the census for the Tigers, so Brett Naden has been dropped. Alex Seyfarth is suspended, so Alex Twal starts at lock, and Fanua Pole starts at prop. Charlie Murray joins the bench, which I don't mind.
that was dumb.
For the Sea Eagles, Jake Trbojevic is out from a nasty head knock. Yes.
he was pretty average when he was coming up.
Yeah. So Jazz Tavanga starts at lock, and Caleb Navali joins the bench. I'm surprised he hasn't been playing more because they need a Taniela Paseka replacement. He's basically the same guy.
That's me.
Yes. Lehigh Hopewadi moves on to the wing, so Ruben Garrick is now in the centres, and Tommy Talau is benched. Ben Trbojevic comes back into the starting side in the second row, so Michael Cheekham drops out. A few changes here. Trbojevic. Turbo.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
why.
was saying that was going to be the case. Yeah.
Manly are in a slump with a pretty poor forward pack. The Tigers are improving with a good forward pack. I'm tipping the Tigers.
I don't even think it's necessarily that much of an upset because the Seagulls are going pretty ordinary at the moment. Yeah,
I don't
I would agree. I think the Tigers,
especially now that they're fully committed to playing Adam Dewey at halfback. I think they've got a really good thing going.
I think the Tigers are going to be too strong.
Could make finals.
They still have the chance.
They could make
I
finals.
don't think they're going.
I don't think they will, but they'll look pretty good. They could get their perennial ninth place finish, I suppose. You're a great idiot.
I picked them at 11, so
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay.
Cowboys Knights. Final game of the round.
I don't
No one is going to watch this.
I don't like the way you tipped them.
I don't like this. Okay, so the Cowboys get 3 big returns. Jordan McLean, I said big returns. One of them is beating Jordan McLean, and then Harrison Edwards and Carl Lawton. So, and we've decided that the rookie forwards are the problem. So Lars Bittengun and Lanats are all gone.
Why? Why?
We must play Carl Lawton.
Carl Lawton.
I don't know.
At least he can tackle one, I suppose. But yeah,
He's not even that good at that. So what happens is Jordan McLean starts, Lawton and Edwards are named on the bench. Tom McKaylee is also back, but he is there to cover the Cohen Hess suspension.
yeah.
William Valier is named in the reserves as he looks to return from a foot injury. I think it was a foot injury. For the Knights, Fletcher Hunter's dropped. Dan Gago shifts to the centres, and debutant alert. We get to sound the alarm for the first time in 2 weeks. Connor Vitano now starts at fullback for Newcastle. Because everything I saw on rugby league social media, as soon as Kalen Ponga went down, was play this guy. I've heard excellent things about this guy. He is express pace fast. He's got great hands. I'm very intrigued to see what he can do with this team. Tyson Frizzell starts for Phoenix Crossland. Brody Jones and Jake Arthur join the bench. Head knocker. This is a tank bowl. Pure and simple. 2 teams with crap coaches and crap rosters enter. Only one wins with the undesirable win. I think that Newcastle are going to win.
I don't think so.
I know that Newcastle's record up here is absolutely horrendous.
They haven't won for the last 11 years.
I am aware of that. However, the Cowboys are crap. And at least Newcastle play like they want to be there. The Cowboys don't. And in terms of in a game where it's going to be sloppy and there is not going to be many points scored, playing with effort is what's going to win you the game. Newcastle do that, the Cowboys don't.
So the Cowboys were sloppy last week. You keep saying it's sloppy. 95% belies your saying
There's
sloppy.
there's not going to be many points in this game, is my point.
Yeah. Maybe not for Newcastle, but the Cowboys have more points in them than Newcastle if they can actually get a thing going.
Also let in a bunch more points than Newcastle can.
You did see Newcastle's game last week, right?
That's an outlier. Like
Maybe that's now a thing.
that's what we can hope. Then maybe the Cowboys can actually score some points. But I always don't want them to win anymore. It's the worse they are, the more likely it is something changes, and that's what I want.
Unfortunately, you're not
I
in
prefer
the hierarchy.
I prefer this year to be terrible and have hope for something good next year than for them to somehow pull a couple of wins out of the hat at the end of this year and then go into next year with the same garbage as this year. I don't want to deal with another year of this.
Look, I guess I'm more positive thinking than you. I think going into the off-season with some momentum would actually be a good thing, not a bad thing. Going into the off-season with your worst season in however many years is not something you want to be doing. You have to really rebuild hard from there, and it may not work next year. You know,
I guess. I don't know.
look, we're going to the game, so I hope they put up a fight.
Hope so.
You know, and I think against Newcastle they will, given that we know that Newcastle played very poorly in North Queensland for whatever reason. Let's hope it's hot.
Let's hope so.
Maybe Callum's
hope it's like-
up here.
Well, it's been pretty cloudy the past few days. Hopefully that
If
breaks
it's a
up.
nice sunny afternoon in Townsville, it's going to be a bit nasty for the Knights.
That's all we can pray.
Hopefully.
And I think we should get more day games. You know why?
Because
Home green advantage can be night games, and it's absolutely icicles down there.
yeah, I guess the thing is that you're less likely to have hypothermia when you're running around on a football field than you are to get heat
You're
stroke.
actually more likely to do damage to like muscles and stuff.
So warm up properly.
You can do that as much as you like. Look at Brisbane last week. That's pretty sure they warmed up very well.
I
And
suppose.
still
I
had
don't know.
that.
Phillies last
And
week.
Melbourne was like 6 degrees at kickoff.
Maybe. Look, maybe it's just my pessimism talk, but I don't see the Cowboys. Even if they do win, I don't think they're going to win very well.
They scored 18 against Parramatta, who were going better than the Knights.
I think Paris defense is like the third worst.
No, but the team is actually going better than the Knights.
Right now, yeah, I suppose that is.
And their attack is better than the Knights. The Knights have got nothing in attack.
I guess.
I think at the moment, throw the ball to Best and hope he can do something.
This game could end like 12-10. It could be an absolute fest.
I don't know. I think the Cowboys probably win. And I think they win just because Newcastle suck. I guess more than they do.
I mean, I don't even know whether I hope they win anymore. I'm so apathetic around this team now.
Well,
We'll see. I think that's it.
that
You
is.
tipping the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Let's go the boys.
Okay. That's us for the week.
Fantasy.
I'm doing well.
Yeah, I'm not.
Thank you.
I hope you know that my fantasy team is so bad that having one of my best scores being 724 is bad.
Yeah, well, I think I scored 993 this week. I won my head-to-head. I'm moving on to the semi-finals. I've gained some 6,000 ranks in the past 4 weeks. I'm really coming over the wet sail, but I am running out of trades very quickly. I don't think I'll be doing any trades. I don't think I'll be doing any trades this week. So I hope
It's 20 minutes in my starting team.
20 trades.
it's because you never touch your team. That's the thing. I build it for you, and then you don't touch it.
Well, I built one.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Good luck to your team unless you're the Knights.
all the women's Bulldogs.
All the women's Bulldogs. Go the Cowboys. Girls team, smash it out.
Let's hope so.
So the
guys are
Cowboys
good.
team at least get a win.
You guys are bad, but hopefully good.
Let's hope. It'd be funny to see Newcastle get the spoon.
It would be.
That'd be the only reason I'd want the Cowboys to
Go
win.
the Cowboys to win 30-18.
Fair enough then.
30-0. That'd be funny.
I won't be nil.
Catch you guys.
Bye.